Virginia, the truth will be revealed. Those are the words that I spoke at CWA's cash grab. And I'm pretty sure all of you already know what I meant. The truth about us. About what happened with us. Not just the two of us, but also Wendy. I hoped it wouldn't have come to this. I hoped either by now we would have let bygones be bygones, or one of us would have just dropped this beef and it would be done. We could move on with our lives. It happened. No changing it. But no, like he always does. Virginia has to hold a grudge. He has to always get in my business. Ruin every chance I get to move on. Well, this is what it's come to, Virginia. The one thing you didn't want me to do. Tell the truth. Answer the questions. This is all on you. Yes, Nate, Virginia, and I used to be friends. Partners in crime. We hunted monsters all the way from Toronto to Quebec, from Montreal to British Columbia. There wasn't a problem that we didn't go and solve. And we used any method we could. Guns, technology, traps, brute force. We were cold, cunning, calculated, and efficient. Just like we had assumed the monsters were. Heartless. We showed no mercy. That was until the night she came into my life. Wendy Torres. The woman who changed me. Changed my life for the better. It had always been embedded in my head by Nate that they were monsters. Every one of them were cold and heartless and killed for the sake of killing. But I learned the truth from her. Some of these monsters don't get to choose. They don't get the choice to be normal. Some are born with it. Some are forced into it. And others just want something new in their life. Some have done it for love. Some have done it for fun. Yes, there are the evil ones out there. No denying it. There are the ones who do kill for sport. Who do kill because they can. But the majority of them are just like you and me. Trying to make ends meet. Trying to survive. And I learned that. I opened my eyes because of that woman. And I hope that maybe with this newfound knowledge that my friend, the man who I viewed as my best friend, Nate Virginia, he would also see this. See the way that the truth. But he didn't. He didn't. He lashed out. He attacked me. The scar on my cheek is a reminder every single day of how close he came to ending my life. In the forest and the woods, there are things roaming in the night, and that's where we were. The middle of the woods, the middle of the night, at the full moon. And it just so happened that our skirmish had attracted something from the darkness. The alpha of a werewolf pack. And what she saw was not two friends having a dispute, a friendship-shattering argument. She saw two hunks of meat, and she attacked. We tried. Even fighting against each other, we tried to kill this wolf. But alphas are unspeakably large, unspeakably powerful. They fight for their position. And even with two of us, two highly trained individuals, The previous fight beforehand had worn us out. We were overwhelmed. But when we were both down, she chose him. The screams, the agony, the hatred. As I crawled away and nearly passed out from my blood loss, I could hear it in the background, and it echoes in my nightmares to this day. Chuck. 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 The ear-splitting, blood-curdling cry. Chuck. Rings in my ears in my deepest nightmares. Envisioning what it did to him. It's not just because he used to call me that. It's why I hate being called Chuck. Because every time I hear it, every time somebody calls me it, I'm reminded of that horrible, horrible night. I was lucky. A lucky man to be alive. I was saved by Wendy. And I was able to make a recovery with nothing but these scars across my body to act as a reminder of that night. But I thought for sure Virginia had been dead. Nate had died at the hands of that beast, of that monstrosity. But he was as stubborn in life as always, and refused to die. I don't know how. I don't know how. I can't explain to you how he possibly could have escaped or got away or survived, but he did. Grotesquely mutilated and driven to insanity, but still alive. And the most baffling and horrifying thing about it is that after that, most men, after a traumatizing experience like that, would suffer from PTSD and be sent to a medical ward for the rest of their lives. And some may not even have survived. And had they survived, they would have spent their lives in a wheelchair or even in a hospital bed with mental dysfunctions. But he lived. He walked. And he walked back into that forest. And the next time I meet him, he was at my door. His eyes scarred beyond belief. His body covered in scars and bites and bruises. And in one hand, a bloody machete. And in the other, the head of the Alpha. Her head, her eyes tore from her skull. Her face contorted in a horrified scowl. He looked me dead in the eyes, and he asked me, "Are they still not monsters?" I'm lucky to even stand here after what happened next. Once again, a fight broke out. It stayed fighting on until dawn. Both of us nearly towards death. Only just when Wendy would arrive would he head for the hills. And the last time I saw him, before he left, he told me, "This isn't over." And it wasn't. Because just as I had thought I was moving on, almost a year later, I was at the top of the game in VGW as Next Gen Champion. He arrived. After not seeing him in almost a year and a half, he returned into my life like a cancer, resurfacing and reemerging from the depths of my nightmares, and attempted to take everything from me. He failed, and I thought at that time, the second time that I had finally defeated him, he was gone. He was out of my life forever, but then, he is enlisted by Heidenreich. Aldous Heidenreich hires him on as a part of the syndicate, and he returns alongside that old decrepit man into my life to once again try and rob me of everything. This feud can't continue any longer. Nate, this has to come to an end. I don't care when, I don't care where, but the next time we meet will be the last. You have made my life a living hell for the last 3 years. And it comes to an end in our final battle. Because last we meet, I will ensure you never threaten my wife, threaten my family, or threaten me ever again. I will put you down. like the mangy dog that you are. And I will finally find my salvation. Finally find my peace. Finally find freedom. But if I can't do that, if I can't get rid of you, and if I can't beat you one last time, then I will never, ever be at peace again. The final battle is coming. The truth will only ignite the fire within us both when we go nose to nose one final time and stand opposite each other in that ring. And I promise you, this will be the end. To ultimate beside domine in inferno.